Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the House of Commons, and to my left,
Suraya.
Val.
Ola George.
All right, House of Commons.
House of Commons.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is your style of holding the
This is the best. This is a new way of holding the glass.
Hey. All right, guys, welcome to the show. Our topic today, we have to go with what is current. So we got a message from Philadelphia, and I forgot the name of the lady. My bad. I'll get the name before we proceed, before the end of the show. But she said that the rate of suicide in America, in Canada, in the news is getting high. Of course, just within the last 1 week, we've had 2 celebrities kill themselves. By name,
Kate
Spade and Anthony Bourdain.
Good. I'm not very good with names. My bad. So it says Kate Spade and
Anthony Bourdain.
Okay, so killed themselves. So the only reason why this one came in the news is because they are stars, right? They are known. They have money. But there's a lot of people dying, and especially the Philadelphia lady that we're making this show for, we're doing this topic for, said that what could be done to minimize the rate of suicide, and can we discuss what would actually push someone to want to kill himself or herself.
Wow.
So since we have a medical personnel among us, we're going to start with him. Val, what causes, what do you think, I don't even know how to put the question.
Why would someone kill
himself? Yes. Talk about it from the medical standpoint. What could...
Sometimes it's not even about medical standpoint. It's just, there's a lot of reasons, man. But there's a lot of reasons why.
I'm sure you guys took it as a cause in your...
Why someone would want to kill, himself or herself? So and there's the reasons that goes unnoticed. Like people don't hear about this stuff, like mental health issues. It's really big. For you to consider just to take your own life, there's something, you're not mentally fit, right? So you're going through depression. Depression is a big one. Like when you're depressed, you have clinical depression that's been there for a long time, and you're not seeking help. And sometimes you don't even know that you're depressed, right? And the easiest way out is just to take your own life. And death of a loved one, going through a really critical stage in your life where you've lost something. Like people that invested, I know in Nigeria, people invested so much money in MMM, and when that crashed, a lot of them were just killing themselves because people borrowed money from banks to put into investments, and now there's no way out to pay, so they kill themselves. So loss of something that's valuable to you could lead you to suicide. But I'm just going to focus more on mental health issues, right? Because, and I'm going to narrow it down to depression. Depression could cause you to do a lot of things, want to harm yourself. So things that you usually enjoy, normally, you don't enjoy those things anymore. These are signs, like when you're with your loved one, your family members, and they tend to, they're outgoing normally, and then now they're withdrawn. They don't want to go out. They don't want to enjoy things anymore. Those are telltale signs that something is going on. They're very sad. They're not happy. And clinical depression, these symptoms need to be at least around for 2 weeks, and they have to be diagnosed to be really for you to be clinically depressed, right? So they sometimes they get hallucinative thoughts, they get delusions, like they hear voices telling them you're nothing, you're worthless. They feel helpless because they can't control it. Like, do you know how it is to be there and hear people talk, like hear voices in your head? These things are real, and they hear voices like, go kill yourself, or they want an easy way out, so and these things happen to everyone. So in everyone's life, you go through, even within a year, you go through a stage of at least where you feel depressed. for a moment. But if it lasts for over 2 weeks, then that's clinical. You're becoming like really clinically depressed. You need to seek help. You understand? So even rich people, wealthy people, poor people.
Yeah, these two that died, they're rich.
Yeah, they're very rich. They're very rich. Sometimes you want to trade your life for Anthony Bourdain. You see that guy doing CNN show. He travels everywhere.
And eats good food.
Eats good food. Has a nice, woman in his life. Has a child. Like you wonder, man, why would someone like that kill himself? He's probably been suffering from something all this while, and he cannot even come out to say it. And his loved ones don't have that knowledge to detect this stuff. Ahead of time, I say, hey, go seek help. Something is wrong. You're not happy. They have all these things. They don't want to come out and express how they feel. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna let some of you guys go.
Okay, Ola, what do you think? I mean, what do you think the major causes of this suicide, and let's just deal with what causes it before we deal with how could it be minimized, how could it be prevented if possible?
So in regards to this topic, of course, it's a very heavy topic. Suicide, it's a very unpleasant topic because some people have people that have lost people to suicide, or presently have people in their life that are depressed or show signs of those things as well. But in regards to what actually causes somebody to potentially take their life,
what would push someone to that point?
I would say it's pretty much Val really touched on a lot of the key points. It's really depression, but sometimes it's depression that's not diagnosed, and most of the time people who are depressed don't get diagnosed because sometimes it's almost a lifestyle that they're used to being narcissistic sometimes, or you're used to hearing people, especially nowadays. I notice with the young people. Sometimes even some of the jokes that they say sometimes, and then they'll use their fingers to show like a gun symbol and hold it against their head, like blow their brains out. And I'm hearing like people making these jokes and like it's supposed to be funny, you know what I mean? And then like that's not funny, you know what I mean? It's like, a lot of times I know a lot of people whose the trigger point is sometimes people who are bullying them in school. That was coming last year a lot. Okay. Bullying, a lot of people after sometimes they take their life, people find the notes or the messages left behind, it's because they were being bullied in school. That's another key point and then also women, sometimes with a lot of the hormone changes after she has a baby, and she goes through the baby blues, and sometimes unfortunately if it goes unchecked, because it happens to the large percentage of women, but if it goes unchecked, then all of a sudden, unfortunately, that woman may attempt to take her life or harm the child, even worse, harm the child, right? So there's so many reasons I think that are, and then sometimes, honestly, it could just be somebody, wanted to get their way, didn't get their way, somebody, a boyfriend left them, a husband left them, a wife left them, a girlfriend left them. All of a sudden now, somebody who was usually stable, goes over the edge. You know what I mean? And some of them is unexplained almost. That So that's what I would say really as some of the key reasons that I've understood and I've observed. But the key to me is the one that we would seemingly call unexplainable. The ones that the person seemed happy. They seemed like they were happy at work. They seemed happy to their spouse. They seemed happy to their kids. But all of a sudden, nobody knew that they were depressed. Right. Nobody knew that they were hurting inside, maybe from something that happened when they're younger. But to me, those are some of the key situations that trigger these kind of things.
So Suraya, what do you think?
There are a few factors that can lead to depressions. As Val and Ola mentioned, part of it is linked to medical reasons, such as depression, but also some of the medical concerns that mostly will lead to suicide is this medical term that is called schizophrenia. Some people are schizophrenic because they do hear the sound, someone telling them things. At times it's good things, and at times it leads to a thought of suicide, and that's when they end up, killing themselves. Depression still, there's different forms of depressions. There are those that people get depressed every day. I guess it's a benign sort of depression. It doesn't lead to you killing yourself. But at times, if it's a persistent situation, if it's a persistent condition, In Kenya, for example, we had few cases of people actually killing themselves because either they got divorced or they broke up with their boyfriend. They would jump off the highest building and kill themselves. In Canada, most recently, this guy drove on, is it Young and Finch? This guy just started driving around and killing people, and at least
killing people. Why didn't he just kill himself?
9 people died as a result. And,
Well, talking about suicide,
yeah,
instead of killing other people.
Well, because women were saying no to him. He's trying to date these women, and every time he asks a woman out, the woman would say no. And that particular day,
that triggered him out.
Yeah,
wow.
He just started driving around and killing.
You gotta be careful out there.
So, and as Val and Ola said earlier, that at times if the depression is not detected by family members, it could lead to suicide, of course. But at times, even family members cannot catch it. You know, in Western world, everyone is busy. Everyone, you know, you leave in the morning, come home at night, or if you're dealing with the family, kids, so it's really hard to pay attention to the small details and to see exactly how the person can seek help. But how do you seek help? In Japan, for example, is one of the Western countries that has the highest rate of Japan. They even have this, of suicide. They even have a forest in Japan where you can just go and commit suicide. And these days, what the Japan government has done is to have a sign outside telling people that if you are thinking of killing yourself, this is the number to call. And you know, even in Canada, for example, you can call 211 to seek for any kind of help, or it is 311. Just call 311 or 211, and someone will answer, and they are willing to listen to you and talk to you. And if you have suicidal thought, they have, I guess, professionals that are, you know, I guess, trained and skilled on how to talk people out of killing themselves. But still, there is no research that prove that you know, talking someone out of suicide actually prevents them from you know, killing themselves. And there are situations where someone will attempt suicide and they will fail, and it's not like they're gonna stop. They're gonna try again for the first or second attempt until they actually succeed. There are people that will not succeed in killing themselves, will actually, if they're able to get help, you know, they will, you know, let it be and just seek help for whatever condition they want to be looked into and continue that way. Okay. So those are a few of the factors that you know, are out there.
For me, number one, I don't see the reason why anyone should kill himself except for medical reasons. Like you said, like the guy, the lady, the designer,
Kate Spade,
the sister came out and said that she's had a bipolar. She's been bipolar for a long time, and they've begged her to seek help, but because of her brand, she doesn't want anything. She doesn't want it to leak. That she thinks it will affect her brand, right? And every time, most of the times, they'll make an appointment. The sister even said that she offered to go to check in with her to make sure that she receives treatment. She will accept it, and then a day before the appointment, she would change her mind. And the sister was always complaining about having people around her that don't really care about her, don't really care for her, they only care about what they can get out of her. You know, so for me, because I hate, sometimes I don't like watching CNN because I don't like negative news. Every time you turn on the news, it's something negative. Every time you turn on the news, it's something negative. So I think that one can lead to depression. Do we call that one clinical or news?
News related.
Maybe that would be a new category.
New category of depression. But I'm being real. You know, so me, I prefer to watch soccer, watch live sports, things that gives you, you know, real things. Because every time, like, the reason why I say, okay, the lady's name from Philadelphia is Gladys. I think Gladys, yes, Gladys. I'm very sure it's G or something, Gladys. So the reason why I said for us to do this topic is because it's not only because she brought it up, but because of the news. For the last 1 week, it's been suicide news, suicide news, suicide news, suicide news, suicide news. But me, I'm going to tell people this way. I will speak about it as an African. You know, in Africa, people go through a lot. People go through a lot in Africa. I mean, in the Western world, so most of the people in the Western world, if they go through what most of the Africans go through, they would have killed half of them could have committed suicide.
When you look at it like that. When you look at it like that.
But you know I'm serious.
Yeah,
I'm very
when you
serious,
look at
right?
it like that.
Because you see, someone, I remember when I was in theater school in Dallas, Texas, right? And one of my classmates came to school one day and was crying and I'm depressed, and I said, what was the problem? The problem is that every time their family get together for dinner, that they don't always provide what she likes eating. They always cook what they said, and that is depression. I told her, I said, my sister. So there was food on the table. She said, yes. I said, you are disturbing. As far as I'm concerned, you are wasting our time. And you know, all my classmates attacked me. They thought I was being very insensitive.
Right.
And I said, like, what do you mean? People are in Africa trekking for 2 miles to carry water on their head so they can drink water, right? People are trekking for 10 miles to cut firewood and carry it on their head so they can cook and eat. And you just walk 2 seconds to the kitchen, bam, the gas come on, you cook. 2 seconds, boom, you drink water from the tap. And you're depressed because they didn't provide a particular food. I said, my sister, like I said before, I'll say it again, you're wasting our time.
You're privileged.
You see what I'm saying? So I think also that this depression thing has levels. Because what is depression to an American or to a Canadian might be good morning to someone in Nigeria.
Yeah, when you look at it like that, it makes sense.
I'm being real now, right? I'll give you an example. People in Africa are looking for ways to go through Morocco, go through Egypt, go through the sea, just to make it to Europe, to look for a better life. And for them, all they're looking for is just a way to get a job at a McDonald's in Europe or get a job at a Walmart in Europe and just have something close to good life. Now, this man that's traveling around the world, probably first class tickets, right? Eating in 5-star hotels, enjoying everything, all of a sudden, he kills himself, right? Now, the only way that someone like me will be sensitive about it if it's medically related.
But you don't. But the thing is that.
But do you understand where I'm coming from, right?
Right.
The only way someone like me will be sensitive about it if it's health related, medically related. That means there's some problem, maybe bipolar or whatever.
But you really don't know though.
Okay, so we don't.
For you to kill yourself, there must be. You're not mentally fit.
Yeah.
Okay, I know some people might like me about it, some might not like me. See, all those ones that kill themselves because they lost their boyfriend or lost their girlfriend, right? If they're burying them, I'll still be drinking tea.
No, but if you're,
you know why?
Something is
why
wrong.
Why would you kill? Somebody something is wrong.
For you, if you break up with him, if you're healthy, if your mental health is okay, you have self-confidence or you have self-consciousness and you know yourself. If you break up with someone, you're not gonna take your life because you break up with someone. Something is wrong with you. You're not confident.
Okay.
Your mental health is not sound for you to take your life. So something is wrong. Some young girls growing up, they feel less of themselves. So when they eventually get a guy and they break up with that guy, kind of give them
builds them up sometimes.
like reassure them, like reaffirm that okay, yeah, I'm a woman. But when they break up with that person, it takes a big toll. It's like the end of the world for them.
That means,
so
I want to understand something because you see, I'm thinking about this from a different point of view, like you guys are thinking about it. So you are mentally okay when you had a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship.
You probably weren't mentally okay.
You probably were.
So you probably didn't know.
You didn't know. You didn't know you had a problem.
The reason why he's probably the girl's ex now, or the guy's ex now, is because maybe they were displaying a mental situation, and maybe that's why the person decided to come back away from the relationship.
Sorry, how many breakups have you gone through in your lifetime?
I can't even count.
Exactly, but will you kill yourself?
Kill myself.
Exactly. Imagine now you Imagine now you kill yourself and someone say, "Oh, I don't care. Because you break up with your woman. You kill yourself. I'll drink my tea." Maybe you're going through something deep down, and that's just a trigger for you.
The only reason I will feel sorry, like I said before, if it's medically related.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
You're making sense.
If there's any health connection. But if there's no health deficiency anywhere, and someone breaks up, and you tell me just because of the breakup, it triggered something, and you kill yourself. Hell, that means someone like us that we've been dumped more than 100 times, we should have been dead 100 times. Do you know how many breakups I've been through in my life?
You know what it is. I mean,
look at it now.
we have when we talk about depression, right? So you have to understand that there are different dimensions to it. Right, so depression could be, you made mention of women after they gave birth, that's like postpartum depression. So you have seasonal affective disorder. So with changes of the weather, the seasons, people tend to get depressed. So winter time, some people get depressed. Summertime, people get depressed. Fall, so seasonal affective disorders. Depression comes out.
They should move to some places in Africa. Then during the rainy season, where they have to swim the water to come out, they will not be depressed.
Or in Asian countries or even the Caribbean, they have the rainy season where it gets flooded. It's like, you know, monsoon.
Do you understand where I'm coming from?
I get your point.
Okay, because you see, the weather is changing here. But you're getting depressed. Right?
You have to understand. That's clinical. That's medical.
Clinical.
Yes.
Okay.
Weather affects people. Okay. Like, you know, and then the last one is like psychosis, where they have mental health issues, like either
that one is
like schizophrenia
I can understand
or bipolar disorder.
I can understand that.
Right, but it happens, Pascal. And then you have to look into different dimensions, as in biological reasons, genetical reasons, like this, right? Like family. If you have a sibling who's committed suicide, you have higher chances of committing suicide. I think 70% chance or 100% chance that you're going to kill yourself because it's genetically linked. You have to look at biology. You have to look at social factors as well. Some people are not hardy. So people can go through stress. Not everybody. People are not built the same way. Some people, little thing like this, they like depressed, they moody.
So Val,
yes,
understand where I'm coming from. When you keep talking about different kinds of depression, that means almost everybody in Africa should fall under one type of depression or the other.
Possible.
Yeah, well, it's a possibility, but it's undiagnosed. And honestly, recently, people have been killing themselves in Africa. People have been killing themselves in Africa. You've seen it lately on social media. You've seen it in the news. How people jump off the bridge. How some people just hang themselves. Young kids nowadays, you know. And I think again, it's a change of times. Like back in the olden days, people they have good community support. If you're going through things, people help you. People are able to help out. But now with social media, people don't even communicate like that anymore. You see people teasing, like all I was saying, people tease each other, or go kill yourself, or like people bully each other on social media. Young kids, they don't. On the social media issue, I heard of a girl that killed herself because she doesn't get enough likes. Oh, God.
It's a very serious topic. We talked about it a little bit. We talked about it in our previous shows. We talked about it a bit regarding children and technology or young people in technology and social media. And that's one of the topics. And this is now the flip side, the reverse side of where it's really bad. The suicide or people harming themselves. But literally, like everybody, even though they're not supposed to actually be on social media until 18. So anybody you see on social media prior to 18, because every single site will show, ask, are you 18 and over? Yeah. You know what I mean? But yet they're on there, for better or for worse. But the thing about it is, like, whether they get the likes, whether they have friends, people not liking them anymore, or
unfollow them,
people unfollowing them, you know, and then the Snapchat side of things, you know, and then of course people get depressed too when they see their friends sometimes with other friends
living life.
You understand? And they didn't invite them. There's a whole social
So what kind of depression we look at that one?
It's a new age.
So social media depression. It's a fake life.
So this person now that killed herself because people are not getting enough likes.
Yeah.
Do you feel sorry for her?
I do feel sorry for her.
Okay.
I do feel sorry. I feel very, very sorry for her. She's looking for a way to feel validated, and that's the only way she can feel validated is through social media, through people liking her pictures or liking her posts. And when she don't get, she has an issue. Basically, she needed help. You don't need social media for validation. You know, you don't need Facebook, you don't need Instagram to, you know, with all this fake pictures and fake, you know, slave mamas and slave queens. Those are fake life, man.
I heard somebody say something the other day. Somebody say something. Do you ever see somebody they're saying they're against social media and they're gonna come off social media because when you see somebody post, oh, I got a bill, or they post some drama happened, they only post they got the money, they post they bought some new sneakers, they posted, you know, some kind of, you know, something, always the positive, and you never see the truth about that person's actual life, you know what I mean?
Anthony Bourdain, I follow that guy on social media. He was always posting his travel sites, his food. He's a chef, right? Yeah. Like his foods, social media, his interactions with people, Brazil, South Africa. You would think like you would trade your life for Anthony Bourdain's life.
To get to travel.
Even the designer.
For the designer too, everybody knows made the beautiful bags,
quality money. Okay, guys, let's go. What could be done? What advice can you give to people out there to at least, even if we don't stop it, minimize the
first thing first, depression is treatable.
Yes.
If you feel like you're going through certain things in life, you're experiencing certain symptoms, do your research. If you've been depressed for over 2 weeks, speak to someone. If you're having suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideation, voices telling you to kill yourself, or you're going through a really critical point in your life that you want to end your life, speak to someone. Please get the help you need. Seek help. It's very, very important. Because it's selfish to take your own life and leave other people, that you leave loved ones behind. It's really, really selfish. Please don't do it. Seek help. And also, we were saying, you are the best person that can control your life. Do not allow pressures from outside and intimidations and pressures and whatever's happening around you dictate how your life is gonna go. You know, have a strongest self-esteem. Build yourself up. Surround yourself with positive-minded people. If you're in a negative environment and you're with people that always put you down, walk away from that friendship. Walk away from that relationship. You don't need negative in your life. You understand? So please, people, seek help. They have psychotropic medications. If you're having a medical issue, if you have medical issues that's causing you to be clinically depressed, they can treat you medically. They have cognitive behavioral therapies. You can speak to a psychologist and they can talk you, and they train people. They can talk you through your family histories, social history. They can talk you through your personal life. They'll go back retrospectively and prospectively and go through everything, and then they can help you, guide you how to come off that depression. So depression is treatable. Mental health issues, some you're able to treat. Okay, so medications, you stay on your medication, your symptoms begin to get better, but you need to continue on those medications. But as soon as you stop, you get a little bit of energy. That's when you can take your life. You know, you taking your medication, you feel better, you stop, you get a boost of energy, the idea comes, and at that point you take your life. I've had patients that survived suicidal attempts. They shot themselves in the head and they survived it. Some slit their wrist and they survived it, but we had to treat them. We had to put them into cognitive behavioral therapy. They don't do this anymore. They used to electroshock them, right? Because they have brain chemicals. I was talking about biological causes when you have imbalances in the feel-good hormones in the brain and the hormones that make you feel like less of yourself. So the imbalance in the chemical in the brain. So they shock you to it's called ECT, right? So they do it to make that balance in your brain chemicals get back together. So there are different ways. There's the treatments. Please do not kill yourself. That's something.
Okay, hold on. Okay, you wanna go? Let's go to Suraya.
Okay,
So let's go to you. Go.
Actually, before going to probably the solutions or what is the best ways to curb suicidal thoughts, I was going to talk about suicide in the military. Sometimes some people, when they go to battle and their team loses. Some of the army, I guess the soldiers, lose their best friends and whatnot. They also see that the best way to live is to, you know, kill themselves or shoot themselves as well, because they feel like that person was their go-to person, like best friend and whatnot. So they think that is the quickest way to think of it.
PTSD.
So if you're a soldier or you're working in any kind of, you know, military setup, if you're in Afghanistan or whatnot, things do happen. So that's a decision that you've taken to protect your country, to protect the people, to fight for your people, to fight for what you believe in. The thoughts might come if you lose one of your best friend or your brother or someone that you looked up to. Actually, they will not be happy that you took your life because they are not there anymore. People do die, but they are still here in spirit. So it's always good to think twice before doing it. Most of the, I guess, the army, I guess departments in everywhere, they do have sections where there are psychologists, there are therapists that you can talk to if you feel you're going through something, you're not happy. So that aside, going now to regular people, at times we talk of schizophrenia, we talk of people being depressed, we talk of sadness, bullying in school and all that. To someone who is thinking about committing suicide right now, we are probably talking nonsense because they've already made up their mind. However, at times before you reach that conclusion, you need to seek for help. And some people, they are very private. They don't want to seek for help because they're like, people are going to think that I'm seeking for help, especially celebrities. Maybe Anthony that died, that committed suicide, he is a celebrity, but he has a side of him that is very private. He didn't want people to know that you know, he's seeking for help, and especially in
just
the US.
like the lady that refused to seek help,
exactly.
the bipolar lady that killed herself.
Exactly, and in the US, for example, the media everywhere, if you're a celebrity, you checked into a rehab just probably for something very simple, you're already trending, that is the headline, and you get people judging you already. And with the celebrities, we hear of it because they are celebrities and we will see it in the news. But for a regular citizen, there are people that do commit suicide every day, it doesn't get to the news. So at times the statistics might not be accurate because not all the informations are given to us. So I feel like even in an advanced country like Canada, for example, in one of my workshops, they said if you are going through something, or maybe you are thinking of suicidal thought, or you are depression or whatnot, to call 311 or to call 211 to speak to someone. But at times these people need the help right now. Or maybe someone decided that, okay, I don't know, a family member, 6 of them died in a car crash. And where is this person going to turn to? And then they tell you that to go seek for help. They'll be like, are you going to bring my family back? You know what I mean? And at times maybe it's just a financial or economical, or maybe it's business. Some people actually commit suicide because they've lost everything, or they even lost in stock exchange. While I was in school, few people committed suicide because they gambled in Niagara Falls and lost probably 1.5, maybe sometimes 50,000, and maybe that was all they had, and that will also lead to suicide. So I think as a society, we need better ways.
Let me not argue on that one. Finish.
Yeah,
I'm not going to argue on that one.
We need better ways of trying to catch depression at its earliest stages, and how people can be assisted so that to prevent it from happening.
Yeah, so okay, Ola, let's go to you now so we can round this up.
Thank you. So with this whole topic of suicide, it's a very serious topic, and one of the key things to me when things are, you know, dealing with topics like this is, you know, with loss, you know, because either that person unfortunately takes their life or prior to. So let's try to speak to the people who, you know, may be feeling in that mode, or feeling that, you know, they're thinking the thoughts, or even very close to potentially, you know, saying, what's the point? And a lot of times when people get to the point of what's the point, there is a point. You know, you have family, you have friends that love you, you know, just people love you and they care about you. And I'm sure even if you don't feel like they love you right now, that I'm sure that if any of them knew how you felt right now, they would stop everything that they're doing and make sure to be there for you. So reach out to the people that are the closest to you, you know, even people who are maybe not in your life anymore, but you know that's the person you need to speak to. Now just reach out to them, you know what I mean? Nobody wants to lose you, you know? And another thing I was just going to say in these type of topics is that prayer prayer is this, it's no joke, you know what I mean? And sometimes we think that we're beyond, or it's at a hopeless point, and we just need to pray. Just pray, you know? You're like, well, how do I pray? You know? Just exactly how you talk to your friend and your family members, you just pray. Say, God, I just need help. I don't have nowhere to turn. I don't know how to turn left or right. You know, when we don't know what to do, He knows what to do. You know what I mean? And when we feel desperate and at a loss, He'll carry us. You know what I mean? We don't have to have the words. We don't have to be eloquent. We don't have to be a pastor, a preacher. You know what I mean? He loves all of us. You know what I mean? So anybody who feels anything like this, you know, or knows anybody that feels like this, you know, be there for them. Be there for your family member. Be there for your friend. And if you need support, then you seek out the support, the medical support. You seek out even a pastor's support to come and talk to them and say, this is what you're dealing with. Don't wait until it's too late. Because you know what I mean? Like you're talking about Kate Spade's family said that they were trying, and these people said they were trying, and it's unfortunately, they probably did try, but unfortunately she took her life. You know, so the key is that while we have breath, while we yet have strength, while you yet know that person is here still, let's do our best to be our brother's keeper. People talk about a lot of times now that, oh, you know, that's everybody has their own life, social life, everybody's so busy, we're all busy, every single one of us, you know what I mean? But we are our brother's keeper. We are our friend's keeper. We are our loved one's keeper. And then the reason they're in our life is because they're not just in our life for the good times. We're not just supposed to be in each other's life when we're having, you know, having wonderful gatherings and people are cooking up and smiling and raises at work. You're supposed to be there for your friends and your family when they're also going through rough times. And this type of topic, suicide, feelings, this is all of those type of things, you know, for better or for worse, if you're in a husband and wife relationship. So I'll just say everybody just keep your head up. You know, just keep pushing forward, keep trying, and then the days you don't feel 100%, just be honest with yourself. And then talk to those key people in your life that could be there for you to support you, you know. And when they can't be there, always know that God is there for you, and just pray, pray.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
All right, my own conclusion on this suicide issue. First of all, I have to thank the lady from Philadelphia that brought this topic up. My own conclusion is this: people should always remember that the darkest hour comes before light. So when you think you lost a boyfriend and you're about to kill yourself, you never know if God pushed that boyfriend away so you can get your Obama.
Open up the space.
You feel me? If you feel like you lost a girlfriend and you're crying about that girlfriend, you don't know if God pushed her away so you can get your Halle Berry.
Yes.
You know, you can marry even a princess from Queen Elizabeth's family or something. So there's always, the darkest hour will always come before light. That's my own. Number two. From my background, coming from the African background, right? Life is tough. And it's always going to be tough. But when you think it's that tough, find something that you like doing. If it's watching soccer, if it's playing basketball, if it's clubbing, even if it's drinking. Right? Even if it's chasing women, if you're a guy, go and chase some women, let them turn you down. You'll bring you back up. You chase 5, you catch 2. You feel me? Then you know, and I'm gonna advise guys, if like the guy that started killing people because women were turning him down, take it as a job, guy. Go out one day, talk to 10 women, you must catch one.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes. So just because you talk to 2 or 3, they turn you down, you go and kill yourself. The other 7, who will talk to them? You understand what I'm saying? Now, if it comes to medical issues, I'm not a medical personnel, but from what I've heard from Valentine and these people, seek help. Don't be ashamed to seek help. Because when you die, those people don't give a damn about you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Another thing too, I want to talk to people that have celebrities in their families. Do not leave your celebrity brother or sister in the hands of the managers or in the hands of those friends around them. Those friends around them are just parasites. They don't give a F about them. Am I making sense?
Yeah, clear.
Because I've been in a position before, this was about a few years back, where they were booking me on shows back to back until my brother stepped in, Oscar stepped in and said, oh, we're going to do this one, we're not going to do this one. I flew so much, I didn't know the difference when I was up there and when I was in my bedroom in LA.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember doing a show in Sydney, Australia, coming back, and a day later, they were sending me to another show from LA to New York, which was about 5.5 hours or something. I knew I was tired. In that situation, nobody cares. They just want to collect the money. People want to collect their percentage. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to advise families out there, do not leave your celebrity brother or celebrity sister in the hands of entertainment people. The entertainment world is a very dangerous, wicked world. It's all about what can I gain, what can I gain, what can I gain. And push come to shove, those managers, those agents, those friends will start giving your brother or your sister drugs to keep them awake so they can go do that show. But if you step in and say, this is my brother, this is my sister, this show, he's not going to do it, this one, he's not going to do it. Like this guy that just killed himself in France. Who knows? Might be fatigue.
He probably is beyond exhausted. Sometimes
Beyond
it's
exhausted. Do you understand what I'm saying? It might be fatigue.
It could be.
I remember last Christmas doing the talent show. We worked so many days. One night I told my brother, I said, bro, I'm really tired.
You're tired.
And when I told my brother that I was tired, when we were just jokingly, my brother told him I was not coming out that night. So no matter what you did, I didn't come out that night.
You have to rest.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Because my brother, he said my brother went and brought some wine, we were drinking wine, he brought food. By the time I finished eating, I was knocked out. I woke up 4 a.m. the next day.
Wow.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But if my brother was not there, those people I would, because even you say, let me do this, let me get it over with. But you don't know. So what I'm not saying is this: people should show more love to their friends and families. More love will help. More love will help. Even if you think someone is useless, that person is useless, but every now and then the person makes you laugh.
It's true.
Every now and then, if the person gives you a hug, do you know that sometimes you can go without finding someone to give you a hug? So even if all you're listening from that family member is a hug, please care for that person. Let's care for each other. Show more love. Talk to your friends. If you don't hear from them, pick up the phone and call them.
Thank you. That's the simplest thing you can do. Call your friends.
If you don't hear from your friends, pick up the phone and call them. And if your friend come in and say, I'm having a bad day, find out, try to cheer the person up. Try to get them out of that mood. Alright? Even if you don't have money to take them out, go buy ice cream. Ice cream. You guys take a walk, buy ice cream. By the time you take a walk to buy that ice cream and come back, his mood will change a little.
People just want to know that somebody's there for them.
Yeah, so
it's not even about the money.
Stop abandoning your friends. Stop abandoning your friends. Stop abandoning your family.
Like you have friends like you don't talk to for 3, 4, 5 months. You don't know what they're going to. Just pick up the phone and then you go through your WhatsApp list. You're looking at their picture of them. Just everything seems good. But you call them and then
Instagram doesn't mean they're doing good.
At all.
Facebook doesn't mean they're doing good.
No.
Twitter doesn't mean they're doing good. Call your family and friends. Call them. Go. Bump into their places, knock on the door and check on them. If that's what it's going to take. Please, how do they reach you social media? Because the dragon is too long.
Yeah, it's Suraya.
Suraya? I just wish. Suraya Issa, please.
Yeah.
And you?
This is VDD Val, Instagram.
Ola George _ Instagram, Twitter.
Okay, talk about Diamond Pictures.
So for Diamond Pictures, you could actually, what we did now within the last little while, we actually have a merchandise line right now for the House of Commons under Diamond Pictures. You can go buy some of our mugs. Next time you see us, you're going to see some of our new mugs and some new shirts that we have. It's on redbubble.com. And you can also go to our Diamond Pictures social media, also for the House of Commons on Instagram, Twitter. It's all House of Commons.
Alright, guys, just to reach me, my name is Pascal Atuma. Pascal Atuma, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. But for those of you that will be in Russia, I'll be in Russia. If you see me, stop and holler at me. Don't, we can chat, we can drink, you can be my friend. If you're going through depression, I'll make you laugh, you get out of it. So I'm going to be in Russia. For those guys going to be in Russia, we might even shoot House of Commons in Russia.
Yeah,
so you might have, alright, House of Commons.
Let's go Nigeria. World Cup. Also, let's win. First African country to win.